Welcome to Zen Mind Peaceful Life. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to radiate energy, while others, no matter how strong and confident, somehow end up rubbing people the wrong way? It's fascinating, isn't it? Today, we're diving into a topic that's both intriguing and controversial: why Aries, despite being a powerhouse of passion and determination, is often considered one of the most disliked signs of the zodiac. Aries, ruled by Mars, the planet of action and aggression, is full of fire, always leading the charge with their boldness. But what happens when that same fiery nature causes friction with others? You might be surprised to learn that Aries' personality traits, though admirable in many ways, also have a dark side that can push people away. From their blunt honesty to their intense independence, Aries has earned a reputation that leaves some people baffled, while others feel resentful. But here's the catch: while these characteristics can lead to misunderstanding, they're not inherently negative. When you understand the deeper layers of an Aries behavior, their actions start to make sense. They're not trying to be difficult, they're simply living by their own code. This video will take you through 21 specific reasons why Aries can often be misunderstood, and why so many people find it hard to connect with them. As you listen, you might find yourself identifying with some of these traits, or perhaps you'll recognize them in those around you. You might even find that these very traits are part of what makes Aries unique and, at times, hard to deal with. The truth is, understanding why people act the way they do is the first step toward building empathy and improving relationships. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay connected with more insightful content like this. Zen Mind Peaceful Life is here to help you understand the forces shaping our lives, from astrology to personal growth. If you're ready to explore the complexities of the zodiac and gain a deeper understanding of the Aries personality, stay tuned. This journey will change the way you view yourself and the people around you. Let's begin. 1. No tolerance for cliches and empty gestures. Aries is a sign ruled by Mars, the planet of war and passion. This fiery influence pushes Aries to seek authenticity above all. They are not interested in sentimental gestures or flowery words meant to show affection in a theatrical way. To an Aries, grand romantic declarations and over-the-top displays of love can feel shallow, even disingenuous. They prefer sincerity in relationships, simple, meaningful connections over anything that feels like it's done just for show. Imagine being in a relationship with someone who doesn't appreciate your efforts to surprise them with flowers or public displays of affection. You might feel rejected or misunderstood. To Aries, it's not about the spectacle, it's about the deep, genuine moments shared in private. They want love to be raw and real, not wrapped up in a bow for the world to see. Unfortunately, this can leave others feeling unappreciated or even disconnected, especially those who view these traditional romantic gestures as essential for relationship growth. 2. Brutal honesty and direct communication. When it comes to honesty, Aries does not beat around the bush. Their communication style is direct, sometimes even blunt, because they truly believe in speaking the truth without sugarcoating it. To them, honesty is a form of respect. If someone is not being upfront or avoiding the truth, Aries finds it to be a waste of time and, frankly, disrespectful. For Aries, there is no room for pretense. This can make them seem cold or insensitive to people who prefer a gentler, more tactful approach. Imagine being in a group conversation, and Aries speaks their mind openly about a topic that no one else dares to bring up. While some might appreciate this honesty, others may feel exposed, uncomfortable, or even hurt by the sudden bluntness. This lack of a filter is both a blessing and a curse for Aries. It's refreshing for some, but alienating for others. Aries rarely apologizes for this straightforwardness, believing that sparing someone's feelings will only make things worse in the long run. However, this no-nonsense attitude often creates tension and makes Aries seem less approachable, leaving them misunderstood and, at times, disliked. 3. Overwhelming passion and intensity. Aries lives with an unmatched intensity that fuels their ambition and drive. When they pursue something, whether it's a personal goal, career, or a relationship, they dive in headfirst. There is no half measure when it comes to Aries. They pour their heart and soul into everything they do. This passion is one of their defining traits, and it's what drives them to succeed and overcome obstacles in their path. But this intensity can be exhausting for others. Not everyone can match the sheer energy that Aries brings to the table. Aries tends to dominate situations, often pushing their ideas and opinions forward without hesitation. They want those around them to match their enthusiasm, and if someone doesn't keep up, they might find themselves feeling sidelined or pressured. In group settings, Aries can sometimes take charge and leave others feeling like their opinions don't matter as much. They are not afraid of conflict and thrive on challenges, but for those who are more passive or reserved, Aries can come off as overbearing and difficult to deal with. While their drive is admirable, it can also create friction, especially if others feel overwhelmed by it. 4. Creativity as a prerequisite for connection. Aries thrives in dynamic, creative environments. They are constantly on the lookout for new ideas and exciting innovations. Their imagination knows no bounds, and they are deeply drawn to individuals who share this same spark of creativity. For Aries, creativity is not just an interest, it's a fundamental part of who they are. It fuels their energy and drives them to push boundaries in both their personal and professional lives. However, this intense focus on creativity can make Aries seem elitist or dismissive of those who don't share their artistic vision or intellectual curiosity. Aries has little patience for people they perceive as uninspired or lacking originality. They expect those around them to meet their high standards, both creatively and intellectually, and can quickly lose interest in relationships that don't stimulate their mind or push them to grow. This selective approach to friendships and partnerships often leaves others feeling unworthy or excluded, even if they have other valuable qualities. Aries' thirst for brilliance can blind them to the value of other perspectives, making them seem arrogant or overly critical. For those who cannot match their drive for constant innovation, Aries may feel like a daunting and unapproachable personality. 5. Sensuality that can be overwhelming. When it comes to passion and intimacy, Aries is in a league of their own. They are one of the most sexually charged and sensual signs in the Zodiac, and they bring that same fiery energy to their relationships. For Aries, intimacy is an all-or-nothing experience. They are bold, unapologetic, and uninhibited in their pursuit of love and pleasure. They expect their partners to match their intensity and vulnerability, creating a magnetic, yet sometimes overwhelming, chemistry. This intensity, however, can be too much for some people to handle. Aries expects full enthusiasm and emotional depth from their partners, and if this is not reciprocated, they may feel disappointed or disconnected. Aries thrives on that all-encompassing connection, but it can leave their partners feeling drained, inadequate, or even intimidated by their overwhelming desire. In relationships, Aries tends to be demanding, not just in physical connection, but in the emotional energy they expect from those they love. This can cause friction if their partner isn't on the same wavelength, further cementing Aries as a sign that is both magnetic and, at times, too much to handle. 6. The overwhelming drive to help others. Aries is naturally empathetic and always ready to jump in when someone is in need. Their caring nature drives them to offer support and help those around them, whether they're friends, family, or even strangers. While this might seem like a wonderful trait, Aries' enthusiasm to fix things can quickly become overwhelming for the people they are trying to help. They tend to dive into situations with a solution-first mindset, without always considering whether the other person actually wants their help. For Aries, if they see someone in need, they feel compelled to step in and make things better. This often comes off as intrusive or controlling, especially for those who may prefer to handle their own problems or don't want to be fixed. Their well-meaning nature can sometimes backfire, leaving others feeling smothered or misunderstood. This strong drive to assist, if not managed, can make Aries appear more like a meddler than a helpful friend. 7. The silent pain of betrayal. Aries is fiercely loyal and protective of their loved ones. They place great importance on trust and integrity, and when that trust is broken, they find it nearly impossible to forgive or forget. However, what makes Aries' response to betrayal particularly difficult is how they handle the emotional aftermath. Unlike some signs that openly express their hurt, Aries tends to hide their feelings behind a brave face, refusing to let anyone see their vulnerability. This stoic demeanor often causes misunderstandings, as others might believe that Aries is unaffected or cold in the face of betrayal. In reality, they feel deeply hurt, but they are unwilling to show it. Their pride and desire to maintain control over their emotions prevent them from opening up to others, which can make it difficult for even their closest friends to offer support. This silent pain creates a sense of emotional distance, making Aries appear detached or indifferent when, in fact, they are silently reeling from the betrayal. Their reluctance to show weakness or accept help only strengthens their reputation as being emotionally unavailable or difficult to approach in times of vulnerability. 8. Unforgiving attitude towards infidelity. Aries holds loyalty and honesty in the highest regard, and they see infidelity as one of the most unforgivable offenses in any relationship. If their trust is broken in this way, there's little room for second chances. Unlike other signs who may be able to work through issues of betrayal, Aries finds it impossible to move past the act of cheating. Their fiery, passionate nature does not tolerate dishonesty in relationships. To Aries, infidelity isn't just a betrayal of trust, it's a direct attack on their integrity and sense of self-worth. They believe that a relationship built on lies and deception is doomed to fail, and they won't waste their time trying to repair it. This unwavering stance on fidelity can make Aries seem harsh or uncompromising, especially to those who might have made mistakes but are hoping for forgiveness. In the eyes of an Aries, once the trust is shattered, there's no going back, which leaves them with a reputation of being unforgiving, intense, and uncompromising when it comes to loyalty. 9. Ending relationships without regret. Aries has a straightforward approach to relationships. If something isn't working, they won't hesitate to end it. While this may seem like a healthy and practical decision, it can come across as cold-hearted or unfeeling to others. Aries values their time and emotional energy too much to stay in a relationship that no longer brings them joy or fulfillment. If they feel that a partnership has reached its end, they are quick to cut ties without looking back. This decisiveness may seem empowering to Aries, as it allows them to move forward without lingering regrets. But to others, it can seem harsh. People who are more emotionally invested or who expect a bit more sentimentality might see Aries as ruthless or heartless. While Aries believes that this clarity and decisiveness is simply part of being true to themselves, others might perceive it as a lack of empathy or care. Their ability to walk away without hesitation creates a sense of emotional detachment that can make Aries appear cold or unapproachable in relationships, leaving others wondering if they were ever truly valued. 10. Proud to show off their love. Aries is not one to hide their emotions, especially when it comes to love. When they are in a relationship, they wear their heart on their sleeve and aren't afraid to share their joy with the world. Aries loves to celebrate their relationships, often showing affection publicly and proudly. This can be an endearing trait for some, as it reflects their open and passionate nature. However, not everyone appreciates such open displays of affection. To some, Aries' public declarations of love can come across as boastful or attention-seeking. Their unashamed approach to showcasing their relationships can lead others to label them as arrogant or overly self-assured, while Aries' intention is simply to celebrate love and joy. This can inadvertently create envy or resentment from those who view such behavior as excessive or unnecessary. Aries doesn't mind being the center of attention when it comes to love, but this can leave others feeling uncomfortable, making them seem more showy than sincere. 11. Late night calls, no apologies. Aries is driven by an intense need to act on their emotions and ideas as soon as they arise. When inspiration strikes or they have something important to share, they don't believe in waiting. Time becomes irrelevant. This urgency can lead to what some might find inconsiderate, especially when it comes to late-night calls or texts. Imagine you're comfortably asleep, only to be awakened by an Aries with an idea they just had to get off their chest, no matter the time of day or night. To Aries, this is simply how they operate. When something is on their mind, they cannot wait to express it. They don't have the patience to hold back, and their spontaneous nature can disrupt the calm of those around them. While this impulsivity can be thrilling and invigorating for those who share Aries' high-energy lifestyle, for others, it can be frustrating and disrespectful. People who prefer peace and quiet or value their sleep may see Aries as inconsiderate and even rude. Their inability to read the room and recognize that others might not share their urgency creates tension, as they disregard boundaries in their relentless pursuit of action and self-expression. 12. Creativity as the ultimate bond. For Aries, creativity is not just a hobby, it's a life force. They are deeply attracted to people who can bring fresh ideas, spark new inspiration, and think outside the box. Aries thrives in environments filled with innovation and creativity, constantly seeking ways to push boundaries and challenge norms. They are inspired by brilliance and surround themselves with people who can keep up with their high standards and dynamic energy. However, this thirst for creativity can sometimes make Aries seem elitist or dismissive. If someone doesn't meet their intellectual or creative expectations, Aries can lose interest quickly. Their need to be constantly surrounded by exciting, innovative ideas can make them seem judgmental or shallow. They may come across as condescending to those who don't share the same drive or passion for creation. For people who enjoy a more laid-back lifestyle or those who are less concerned with intellectual pursuits, Aries' high standards for creativity and mental stimulation can feel alienating. They may feel overlooked or unappreciated if they can't match Aries' constant hunger for inspiration, leading to a sense of exclusion or self-doubt. 13. The relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Aries is always in motion, constantly seeking to better themselves. Whether it's improving their skills, reaching new heights in their careers, or simply becoming a better version of themselves, Aries is always striving for personal growth. This intense drive is part of what makes them so successful in many areas of life. They thrive on competition, not just against others, but against themselves. But this constant drive for self-improvement can be exhausting for those around them. Not everyone shares Aries' need to constantly push themselves, and this competitive mindset can sometimes feel like pressure for others who prefer a more relaxed pace. Aries can unintentionally impose their ambitious outlook on friends and partners, making them feel like they're not living up to expectations. People who are content with a slower, more steady path may feel judged by Aries' relentless pursuit of progress. To Aries, nothing is ever good enough unless they've reached the next level, but this mindset can alienate those who don't share their same hunger for growth. Their inability to rest or appreciate what they've already accomplished creates friction in relationships, leaving others feeling that they are constantly being outpaced or underappreciated. 14. The unforgettable memory, especially when it comes to negative experiences. Aries has an exceptional memory, particularly when it comes to hurtful experiences. While they may seem quick to forgive in some areas, when it comes to negative encounters, Aries holds on tight. They never forget an offense, a slight, or an emotional wound, especially if they feel it has impacted their pride or integrity. To Aries, betrayal or disrespect doesn't just sting in the moment, it sticks with them for the long haul. This ability to recall every detail of past wrongs can make Aries seem unforgiving. Even if time has passed, Aries can bring up old grievances with razor-sharp precision. This makes it hard for others to feel like they can move forward, especially if they don't share the same tendency to hold on to memories of hurt. For Aries, it's a matter of self-preservation. They believe that remembering past wrongs helps them avoid future pain. But this can make them seem harsh or overly focused on the negative, especially when they refuse to let go of grudges. People who value forgiveness or who believe in moving on may find themselves at odds with Aries, as they struggle to understand why they can't just forget and move forward. 15. Evidence before action, the detective-like jealousy. Aries is a sign that values honesty and integrity, but when it comes to relationships, their sense of loyalty can sometimes manifest in a way that makes them overly suspicious. They have a keen eye for detail and a mind that constantly analyzes. When they feel that something is off, Aries will not simply jump to conclusions, they'll gather evidence before taking action. This methodical approach to dealing with potential betrayal or dishonesty may seem mature, but to others, it can come across as obsessive or distrustful. This detective-like behavior can create a sense of tension in relationships, especially when Aries starts scrutinizing every detail, from social media activity to small behavioral changes. While Aries doesn't act on their suspicions without concrete proof, their need for hard evidence before making any moves can leave their partner feeling cornered or under constant scrutiny. This behavior can cause anxiety and frustration, making the relationship feel like a constant investigation rather than a partnership built on trust. Their insistence on verifying the truth rather than relying on instinct often leads to misunderstandings and conflict. While Aries believes this approach protects them, it can ultimately make their loved ones feel misunderstood and trapped. 16. Betrayal awakens their dark side. Aries is known for their fierce loyalty and generosity. They will go to great lengths to support those they care about, and they expect the same in return. However, once trust is broken, Aries has a hard time letting go of the hurt. When someone betrays them, it's not just the act of betrayal that stings, it's the violation of their deep sense of loyalty and integrity. This is when Aries' dark side emerges. Unlike other signs who may choose to work through betrayal with time, Aries is quick to shut down emotionally. Their pride and sense of self-respect make it almost impossible for them to forgive someone who has hurt them in such a profound way. This means that when betrayal happens, Aries can quickly close the door on that relationship, leaving little room for reconciliation. The combination of their powerful emotions and strong sense of self-worth leads them to a stance that is firm and often unforgiving. This unyielding reaction to betrayal can make Aries appear vengeful or harsh, but it's rooted in their deeply ingrained need for loyalty and trust. Once that's lost, it's difficult for them to see the relationship as salvageable. 17. Infidelity is absolutely unforgivable. One of the most fundamental aspects of an Aries personality is their unwavering belief in loyalty. When it comes to love and relationships, Aries is all in. They expect complete honesty and fidelity from their partners and are willing to offer the same in return. For Aries, infidelity is not something they can simply overlook or forgive. It is seen as a betrayal of the very foundation that they build their relationships on. Aries holds their partners to high standards, and when those standards are violated, they cannot easily move past the offense. If an Aries is cheated on, the damage to their trust is so deep that they often choose to end the relationship without hesitation. For Aries, once the bond of trust is broken, it is irreparable. While some might argue that they should give their partner a second chance, Aries simply doesn't see infidelity as something that can be excused. Their response is often swift and decisive, and this can make them seem unforgiving or harsh. They believe that infidelity tarnishes the very essence of a relationship, and they are unwilling to tolerate it, no matter the circumstances. 18. Endings without regret, cutting ties swiftly. Aries does not hold on to relationships or situations that no longer serve them. When they decide something is over, they don't hesitate to end it. Whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, or even a professional partnership, Aries doesn't believe in dragging things out if they no longer feel connected or fulfilled. This decisiveness can be empowering for them, but to others, it can seem abrupt and heartless. When Aries ends something, they are generally at peace with their decision, knowing that holding on to something that isn't working is a waste of time and energy. However, for those who are emotionally invested in the relationship, Aries' ability to walk away without regret can feel cold and unfeeling. People who expect more emotion or sentimentality when ending a connection may find this behavior harsh and difficult to understand. Aries doesn't tend to linger on the past, and once they've made up their mind, they move forward without looking back. This lack of attachment can make Aries seem ruthless or even uncaring. But it's simply a reflection of their need for authenticity and growth in all aspects of life. For them, staying in something that isn't working is not an option. 19. Proudly displaying love, open and unapologetic. Aries is a sign that is fiercely proud of their relationships. When they love someone, they don't hesitate to show it to the world. Whether it's through public displays of affection or simply expressing their love openly, Aries wants to share their joy with everyone around them. For them, love is something to be celebrated, not hidden away in secrecy. This boldness and confidence in love can be a wonderful thing, making Aries seem exciting and full of life. However, not everyone appreciates such open displays of affection. Aries' willingness to showcase their love publicly can be seen as boasting or attention-seeking, especially by those who value privacy or prefer to keep their relationships more low-key. Their open nature can sometimes lead others to feel envious or resentful, particularly if they see it as an unnecessary or excessive display. Aries, however, feels no shame in sharing their happiness with the world, believing that love should be celebrated freely and without apology. While this can make them appear confident and bold, it can also create a sense of discomfort in those who are less inclined to put their emotions on display. Aries' pride in their relationships is part of their dynamic energy, but it can come off as a bit too much for those who prefer a more reserved approach. 20. Valuing the little things, too picky for some. Aries has a deep appreciation for the small things in life. While they are known for their big, bold gestures, they also hold a special place for the details that others might overlook. Whether it's a simple kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a meaningful conversation, Aries places great value on these small moments. They believe that the little things often reveal the most about a person's character and intentions, and they pay close attention to them. However, this focus on small details can sometimes come across as picky or overly sentimental. Aries' insistence on valuing the seemingly insignificant can make them seem demanding or overly critical to others. They can get caught up in the minutiae, expecting others to meet their high standards for these little actions, and may become frustrated when those around them don't share the same appreciation. What Aries sees as meaningful, others may view as excessive or unnecessary. This trait can create tension in relationships, especially with people who are more focused on the bigger picture or who don't share Aries' attention to detail. While Aries' deep sensitivity to the small moments is part of their charm, it can also make them seem difficult to please or too demanding. 21. Sleep is sacred for Aries, protecting their energy. Aries is a sign that thrives on energy, action, and movement. They are constantly on the go, taking on challenges, pushing their limits, and living life to the fullest. However, there is one thing that Aries cherishes above all else to recharge their boundless energy: sleep. For Aries, rest is not simply a necessity, it's a sacred ritual that allows them to restore their vitality and prepare for the challenges of the day ahead. If you've ever tried to interrupt an Aries during their sleep or disturbed their rest, you might have seen a side of them you weren't expecting: irritability, frustration, or even outright anger. Aries guards their sleep fiercely, believing that it's essential to maintaining their strength and focus. For a sign so driven by action, they understand the importance of pausing to recharge. And they don't take kindly to anyone or anything that disrupts this crucial time. While this strong need for rest can be seen as a simple preference, to Aries, it's much more than that. It's a matter of self-preservation and mental clarity. Interrupting their sleep isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's seen as a violation of their personal boundaries and their need to protect their energy. This intensity about sleep can make Aries seem overly sensitive or dramatic to those who don't understand its importance, but for Aries, it's non-negotiable. For people who don't share this need for solitude or rest, Aries can appear selfish or inconsiderate. They might even come across as overly dramatic when their sleep is interrupted, leading others to feel frustrated or even resentful. However, for Aries, this is simply a reflection of their commitment to maintaining their inner strength and personal balance. They understand that if they don't protect their energy, they won't be able to give their best to the world around them. As we come to the end of our exploration into the world of Aries, we've uncovered a wide range of characteristics that make this fiery sign both captivating and challenging. Aries, ruled by Mars, is a sign that embodies raw energy, determination, and a relentless drive to succeed. Their intense passion, loyalty, and unfiltered honesty can inspire those around them. But at the same time, these traits can create friction and misunderstanding, often leading others to view them as too overwhelming, harsh, or even unapproachable. What we've learned is that Aries' strong personality is not inherently negative, rather, it's the way they approach life, relationships, and challenges that can sometimes make them appear difficult to connect with. Their need for authenticity, the unapologetic display of their emotions, and their fierce sense of loyalty are qualities that can be admired, but they also come with their own set of challenges. They are a sign that values truth, intensity, and personal freedom above all else. And this often puts them at odds with those who are more reserved or prefer a softer, slower pace. However, understanding Aries is key to appreciating their unique place in the zodiac. Despite the misunderstandings they often face, they are a sign that stands firm in their beliefs and desires, unapologetically living life on their own terms. They may be a sign that's not always easy to love, but they are undeniably authentic, passionate, and full of life. Their energy and drive are qualities that can motivate and inspire, but it's important to recognize that, just like any other sign, they have their vulnerabilities and complexities. For those who seek to connect with an Aries, patience, respect for their independence, and an appreciation for their bold, honest nature are essential. Aries will always be true to themselves, and learning to embrace their intensity rather than shy away from it will lead to deeper understanding and more meaningful connections. In the end, Aries is a reminder that the greatest qualities often come with their own challenges. Understanding them is about seeing the full picture, the fire, the passion, and the drive they bring to everything they do, and learning to navigate those powerful traits with compassion and respect. Whether you love them or find them hard to deal with, there's no denying that Aries is one of the most dynamic and unforgettable signs in the zodiac.